Hey everybody, Taz from Critical Thinking Anarchist here, and welcome back to Feel Good Friday. Normally, this would be where I throw out a bunch of Mike Rowe stuff, and I'll throw out a few things here. But he had a fairly quiet week, so I don't really have much for you. He posted a quick video about one of the shows that he was going to do. I guess it was going to be called People You Should Know. And then it was, I guess. So going by the post, later my friends at TBN expressed a desire to air all the episodes of my prior show, Somebody's Gotta Do It. This turned out to be a really good idea on several levels. So rather than launch with a new title, I took the footage from For People You Should Know and turned it into a new season of Somebody's Gotta Do It. And it's basically the same show that he's done for the last 20 years. You know, he's traveling the country and hanging out with cool people and doing the jobs and getting good stories out of it. So, so if you've watched his show, Somebody's Got to Do It, there's going to be a new season coming out, which is great. Then, of course, he has another episode of The Way I Heard It. On Monday, he made a post. Just one more thing. I know there's a lot of controversy from the woke crowd about the proper way to celebrate this day, but I'll be damned if I'm going to be bullied into turning my back into one of the greatest heroes our country has ever seen. Who's with me? And of course, the picture of Columbo instead of Columbus. Happy Columbo's Day, which is a cute play on, unfortunately, a controversial holiday. And then he posted another returning the favor. And his big news of the week is to, and I'll post the link below, sign the petition for change.org to have Mike Rowe's voice as one of the options for Siri. I haven't signed this, but I love it. I love the idea of it. The reason why I haven't signed it is not because I don't want Mike Rowe to be the voice of Siri. I don't have Apple products, so I don't care. So whether his voice is there or not doesn't matter to me. But I definitely want people to have that option. So you go right ahead. Like I said, I'll post it below, and you can go ahead and sign the petition if you want to, or don't if you don't want to. Doesn't matter to me. So that was all of the Mike Rowe news for the week. And I didn't really have much else. And I went to my Twitter page looking for more stuff to post. And unfortunately, it's just full of political crap right now. Even the good people that I follow, even the people that usually post some fun stuff, didn't really have much worth talking about. And I looked on the local news, and again, not much there, and video game news, and not much there, and of course there's not much even for the things you like in movie and TV news. So I just typed in, and I use DuckDuckGo, I don't use Google, good news. And it brings me to this site, Good News Network. And it's kind of a cool little site, I mean, I call it little, but I have no idea how big or little it is. It's got, fun articles, factoids about the date, good news in history, October 16th, 25 years ago today. The Million Man March convened in Washington, D.C., inviting a million sober, disciplined, committed, dedicated, inspired black men to Washington for a day of atonement. Speakers included Rosa Parks, Stevie Wonder, and Maya Angelou, and the gathering did a lot of good. In the weeks that followed, a call by organizer Louis Farrakhan for black men to return home immediately and take care of their families and neighborhoods. 1.5 million black men registered to vote, and a flood of 13,000 applications were filed to adopt black children. 1995. Think about that. I mean, that is just amazing. To get that many people together peacefully. And we can barely get 10 people together peacefully in our current year. You had 1.5 million black men literally united in a brotherhood. And their leader said, hey, go home. Go to your families. Be family men. Take care of them. Be with them. That's what truly matters. I mean, don't get me wrong. Basically, they were saying your job is done. You came here, you showed the world what you needed to show. Now go home and be the men that you were meant to be. And then we got some other, really cool articles on here. America's largest solar panel maker leads the world in panel recycling, recovering 95% of materials. I mean, and honestly, I can only think that I don't, sadly, I don't know as much about solar panels as I wish I did, but for the most part, I would think that they would just need to be updated because solar cells, I mean, solar panels, the panel can be reused, so it's the solar cells that are going to be the issue, and most of those just need to be re-updated because solar panels themselves haven't really changed much in the last, 30, 40 years, however long they've been around. It's just the amount of what the solar panels can collect and turn into energy. And then you've got cool little things like, robot that performs colonoscopy set to make the procedure simpler, cheaper, and more effective. Great. Mini wind turbine can generate energy made from the breeze you make when walking. Now, this is something that's interested me because one of the things I've often thought about is clothing that can harness energy, because you create a mass ton of friction when you're walking, especially when you're walking with clothing on. There's constant friction going on between you and the clothing. And part of that's, what generates your body heat. And if your clothing could, harness that, we would be able to create near infinite energy just by moving. So, I mean, it's kind of interesting that we're kind of seeing the prelude to that. And just quick looking at the article, breeze as gentle as 1.6 meters a second, 3.6 miles per hour, was enough to power the triboelectric nano generator designed by Yang and his colleagues. The nano generator performs at its best when wind velocity is between 4 to 8 meters a second, 8.9 to 17.9 miles per hour, a speed that allows the two plastic strips to flutter and sink. 8.9 would be probably 8.9 miles per hour would probably be a fairly brisk, a run for most people, a straight out run. 17.9 miles per hour would be a sprint. Most people couldn't do that for very long. But I mean, again, if you could do it. This device also has a high wind to energy conversion efficiency of 3.23%. That's not much. Currently, the research team's device can power up to 100 LED lights and temperature sensors. That's really good. But 3.23%, that's so low. No wonder why these aren't effective as effective, monetarily speaking. But I mean, you have to start somewhere. You have to start somewhere and be able to figure out, okay, what can we get out of this? And I don't know if that's the efficiency all the way across. It does have a hyperlink, so let's quick check that really. Yeah, so the hyperlink unfortunately doesn't go any further other than simply just going to the base article where this one came from. It doesn't give any extra data. But our intention isn't to replace existing wind power generation technology. Our goal is to solve the issues that traditional wind turbines can't solve. Unlike wind turbines that use coils and magnets where the costs are fixed, we can pick and choose low-cost materials for our device. Our device can also be safely applied to nature reserves or cities because it doesn't have the rotating structures. Yang says he has two visions for the project's next step, one small and one big. In the past, Yang and his colleagues have designed a nano generator as small as a coin, but he wants to make it even tinier and more compact with higher efficiency. In the future, they want to scale it up. So place it in things such as phones and sustainable electronic power, to provide sustainable electronic power, and scale up even more to produce 1,000 watts, a megawatt. No, kilowatt, sorry. Produce a kilowatt, so it's competitive with traditional wind turbines. So basically, what your house runs on, kilowatt hours, you could actually create a kilowatt hour with his generator in time. That's what they want to be able to do. But anyway, so yeah, this great website, goodnewsnetwork.org, is a good place to go for days like this when you're just kind of sitting there like, there's so much junk going on in the world, and I'd love to see something decent. And just a couple more really quick shout outs. You got young inventor turns her disability into superpower after building prosthetic arm that shoots glitter. And again, that's something that could be done even more with. Real estate agent uses hilariously posed 12-foot skeletons to fill our properties for Halloween. Creative. Great. Fantastic stuff. And as someone who used to work at Spencer's for a long time, I love that idea. 12-foot skeletons, though. Those are big. I don't know what to do about that. But it's, again, good news. Stuff that really makes you feel good and makes you feel like the world isn't falling apart around you, even though it kind of is. You know, and we've got a lot of other stuff going on. But anyway, my final news of the day, though, is that within the next week or two, I just reduced my hours at my jobs, so hopefully I'll start having more time to myself. But then again, I do have a baby coming on the way, so I may not have more time to myself. But if I do have more time to myself in the next week or two, I'm going to start returning to How to Fix It. I mean, you've got Hubie Halloween, Adam Sandler's movie. I'll even break my rules and go for a franchise, Terminator Dark Fate, and see if that thing can be fixed. You know, there are a bunch of other movies that are coming out between Netflix and Amazon and Disney and all these other ones where, you know, they're not so great. They're not getting good reviews. So hopefully over the next several weeks, I'll be coming out with a bunch more stuff for you guys to enjoy. And hopefully we'll have a good time and start entertaining again instead of feeling like everything, you know, a lot of my stuff has been political just because the world is political. I'm still following Alyssa Milano, but the reason I stopped making videos about Alyssa Milano is just because she's a one-trick pony. Right now, everything she says and does is Biden, 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 Trump is bad. Biden, 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 Trump is bad. And it's old and it's sickening. And even the stuff that she does that's supposedly non-political is still based on those things. Anyway, thank you all for watching. You guys take care of yourselves. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know if you have any movies that you want me to throw into How to Fix It in the comments below. And I will talk to you later. Bye.